Hi, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Hyacinth, and I'm the tech lead of Techstar Hub. And these are my amazing mentees, like they've already introduced them. So I'm just quickly going to run through what we have. Just like the last session, we were really talking about AI here and AI there. AI is the main thing now. It's buzzing everywhere. Everything we are doing now is AI. But for some reason, it seems we are not really looking at the impact of AI to the younger generations, right? For we as adults and for we as people who are already doing well in their respective fields, it can act as a good you know, I don't even know the word to use, to make our work easier and efficient. But how about these younger ones? And that is where we do something different at Techstar Hub. Sorry, can we have our slides up, please? Yes, our PowerPoint slides. So, part of the reasons why Techstar Hub came up was as a result of some things we notice in our environments. When we talk about Lagos, it's like Lagos is, let's say, anything from that Kata Bridge down this way. Anything from that to really my two Badagry area. I don't know if that area is part of Lagos either way, because those areas have a lot of, opportunities there are not as it is in this side of Lagos. So being able to come up with something like this in those kind of remote areas, I think is something that is worthy of applause. And these young ones here are going to tell us how far they've gone in their tech journey. So let me just quickly give them the mic to introduce themselves so that you will hear from them. Okay. So the first is...
My name is Munachiso Egemole. Hello everyone, my name is Munachiso Egemole and I am the Python developer of Techstar Hub.
He's the Python developer of Techstar Hub. All right?
Hi everyone, my name is Mohamed Ahmed Binkola and I'm the cybersecurity engineer of Techstar Hub.
According to him, he said he's a cybersecurity engineer. Awesome.
Good day, everyone. My name is Abuachi Uzoma, and I'm the cloud computing engineer of Techstar.
Cloud computing. Okay. And then,
Hi, my name is Anam Nachi Princess. I'm the JavaScript developer of Techstars Hub.
so Princess is the JavaScript developer of Techstar Hub. So towards the ending of this session, we're going to be having a live coding session. We, in the age of AI, we believe that things can still be done manually. And we know that when things are done manually, at least we are still being taught how to use our brains rather than allowing machines to use our brain. Please, apologies, I'm not here to critique AI. It is very, very fantastic and wonderful. So, sorry, sorry, do we have our slide? Can we have our slides up also? Okay, so you can sit. So, I was talking about Techstar Hub and so we know obviously well that, like I said, before we started Techstar Hub, we were looking at how we could, it came as a result of the fact that the part of Lagos, like where I said we were, sometimes we look at it as undeserved communities. It simply means that in those areas, opportunities are a bit scarce. So, and we were looking at the fact that these younger ones being the future generation of our dear country, the best thing to do, and speaking of which, most of them are still in school, junior school to be precise. Okay, what we call junior secondary school, right? So we looked at it like it's something that if they are doing, with their studies, it could give them more opportunities when they advance later in life. Because most of us here, we stumbled upon tech probably in our university days. Like I was listening to the interview that one of our organizers had with Free Code Camp, that's Aditi Codes, where she was talking about her tech career and how the dad wanted her to do medicine and she wanted to do, and she ventured into computer science, and at the end of the day, it paid off for her. Issues like that are what we are looking at, journey of self-discovery. So in a way, we're helping these younger ones discover their path in tech early enough. They're going to be talking to us about their tech journey, what they are learning, what they've built, what they've worked on as our slides proceed. So wherever the slides comes up, we're going to just continue from there. So let me give the mic to Mohammed bin Kola, who is the cybersecurity practitioner of Techstar Hub, to tell us so far how his journey has been. Then when the slides are up, we can continue from wherever we left off because we are really working with time. So please, can we have the mic? And please feel free to ask questions when we are done. Okay. All right.
So, good day, everyone, again. As I said, my name is Mohammed Ahmed, and I'm the cybersecurity developer of Techstar Hub. And today I'm here to present to you all on cybersecurity, understanding phishing and social engineering. So you might be thinking on so how did I start cybersecurity? So my behavior, I actually like privacy. I don't want anybody seeing observing me, stuff like that. So at the beginning of this thing, cybersecurity sounded complicated. So I did not know where to start from, but with a lot of open source resources like Harvard CS50 cybersecurity course, I'm now learning how to protect systems from being hacked. So my skills developed are understanding phishing emails, best password security practices, and lots more. So you might be thinking, so what's this phishing? So phishing is just it has to do with technicalities. So it's for example, creating, so phishing tactics could include creating links, attachments, spoofing, and a lot of things. So phishing has to do with making is a cyber attack where attackers try to make the victims to reveal their sensitive informations. And social engineering just has to do with manipulation and using trickery ways to make victims reveal their sensitive information. So as we all know, manipulation on the street, we call it whining and stuff like that. So example of phishing can be so let's say a Yahoo boy is trying to get information from someone abroad in outside country, and he uses manipulative and trickery ways to make him or her reveal their sensitive information like login credentials, banking information, personal data, and lots more. Well, so phishing and social engineering sound completely similar, but it's just that the difference between the two of them is just that phishing has to do with technicalities like creating links, attachments, spoofing, and lots more. But social engineering just has to do with manipulation and using trickery ways. And also the best practices to prevent yourself from being hacked by phishing is using strong passwords to protect your data, using antivirus softwares, always updating your softwares. Sometimes you get a notification that you have to update this software, this and this and this, so those kind of things. So you always have to keep updating your softwares and lots more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Because of our time, we're really trying to see how we could manage our time to be able to accommodate them. So let's welcome Uzoma, who is going to talk about cloud computing, uploading static website on Azure.
So, good day, everyone. As you all know, my name is Abuachi Uzoma, and I'm here to talk about cloud computing, basically uploading a static website to Azure. So, when I started cloud computing or coding in general, I did not understand everything. So, by using most of the open source resources like Harvard CS50 and other ones, Kali Linux, all of them, and it makes it easier for me to understand and move on with my tech journey. So let's move on to the topic we have today, which is cloud computing. So cloud computing, this is the process of using network of remote servers in order to protect and secure accounts of millions of individuals all over the world through the internet. So what I accomplished using cloud computing. I built a personal portfolio website, deployed to Azure Static Web Apps, configured custom domain, and learned about global content delivery. And most of the learning resources used were Microsoft Learn, which is an Azure tutorial, GitHub, which is a code repository, and Azure documentation, which is the technical guide. So we have some cloud services, which most of the cloud platforms offer. One is Information as a Service, short for IaaS, Platform as a Service, short for PaaS, and Software as a Service, short for SaaS. So IaaS as information as a service. So this is like having let's say you rented a new house now. It has not been furnished to your own taste, but the main reason is that you get the house, but you have to furnish it. So this covers most of your management and your virtual assistants. So for PaaS, this is like having an already rented house. It's already rented to your taste and you just have to start living there. And this covers most of your services, like your cost, your manageability, your assistance, and all of that. But software as a service gives you the whole package at once. It covers every service you need, from your cost to your management to your everything you need. You just need to start using it. So an analogy is like using an app on somebody's phone. You don't technically own the phone, but you just use the app. So let me dive further to what I'm talking to you about today, which is Azure. So Azure is one of the biggest cloud platforms, apart from AWS and GCP. We have others, but these are the three major ones. So Azure is one of the biggest cloud platforms, known for its seamless integration. It is known for its scalability, accessibility, and cost saving. So moving on, we have some services that Azure offers. One, we have compute services, network services, DevOps services, analytics, and all of that. So one from the compute services, we have Azure Functions. Another one from the DevOps services is Azure DevOps. And another one from the networks is storage, It's from storage services. We have Azure Blob Storage. So moving on, so we have some benefits of Azure. One is scalability and accessibility. Let me start with accessibility. Azure has a wide range of accessibility, which means that it can be accessed anywhere. It can reach you from anywhere all over the world. It's not like a stagnant cloud platform. It is easy to access and you can use it. It's a somehow user-friendly type of cloud platform, but we have more benefits. The major one I want to talk about is cost saving. We know that most of the things now are expensive due to the economy, and talking about saving your expenses and minimizing cost of what you spend. Like, let's say you're using Azure now. Most of the cloud platforms are so expensive and not easy to access. So Azure is one of the major reasons why I like Azure so much, apart from its storage and others, is its way to save costs. It minimizes the expenses of the users and gives it the full package. So let's talk about the ease of use. So it is not complicated. It's like a step-by-step procedure. And it is very easy to use, and it's a beginner-friendly cloud platform. Thank you very much.
When I was their age, I don't know what was IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. But these kids are really going places, if you ask me. Because and thanks to open source, the resources to learn is all available online. And they paid nothing. When I mean nothing, they paid no dime to access it. It's all just being intentional and being curious. And that is how they got to where they are. So they are the mission in progress. Now let's move to the next speaker, in person of Nachi Princess, to tell us what she has for us. Let's continue.
Good day, everyone. I'm Nachi Princess, and I'm the JavaScript developer of Techstars Hub. And I'm here to talk about my project, Interactive To-Do List, and web development. Firstly, I wanted to build websites because I had this passion for building website, like the design and the content and all, but I didn't know where to start from. But open source helped me in the sense that I got tutorials from YouTube and I didn't pay for any of it. So features embedded in the interactive to-do list are to add and remove tasks, to mark tasks as complete, responsive design, and local storage for persistence. Learning tutorials. We have Traversing Media YouTube tutorials, MDN Web Docs, and VS Code for writing the codes. Hi and welcome. My name is Anrach Princess. Like I said before, I'll be talking about web development. Firstly, what is web development? This is the act or process of designing, building, programming websites for a specific purpose. We all can build website for anything, that for e-commerce, for advertising your product, or for any other thing. And technologies behind web development, we have HTML5. HTML has a lot of versions. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, and now the latest version 5. CSS, cascading style sheet, HTML, hypertext markup language, and then JavaScript, which add the functionalities. React.js, which is framework for front end too, and Tailwind. And we also have Node.js for the back end. Projects we can build with web development. We can build the image gallery, your e-commerce website, to-do list app, math game, and lots more. Tools used to build websites or for web development. We have VS Code. We have VS Code web browsers like Chrome or Microsoft Edge, and then Git and GitHub for hosting your website whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Let's put our hands together for her. And we have a final speaker who is Munachi Gemole to come and tell us his journey so far in Python programming.
Good day, everyone. My name is Munachiso Yegemale, and I am the Python programmer of Techstars Hub. And I want to talk about my journey in Techstars Hub. I started in primary 6, and we were only like 4 or 5. And I could remember we have gone for other tech events like Web3 Lagos Conference and Google Dev Fest. And when I started learning Python, I thought it was only for geniuses, but thanks to the help of Programming with Mosh, Traversing Media, and other softwares, I have learned how to program with Python, and anybody can do it. So what I built an interactive calculator which can do basic arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Also with input validation and error handling, and with a clean user-friendly interface, which means if you don't understand anything about the terminal, you can operate it because of its easy interface. And open source tools used VS Code, which is Visual Studio Code, and it is a code editor. Python, which is a programming language, and Git, which is the version control system. So a simple Python calculator. So as you now know, my name is Munachiso Igemole, and I am here to show and explain the simple Python calculator that will be displayed very soon. The next 4 slides will be on the Python calculator. But before we get to the Python calculator, what is Python exactly? Python is a programming language which can be used to make different programs or applications. It is not a self-compiled language, so a manual compiler needs to be installed. It is a low-level language since it's similar to English and it is easy to understand. So over here, you can see the different codes that have been shown in the Python calculator. So def defines a program as a function. For example, when you define a noun is the name of any place, action, thing, idea, or expression. print shows anything in the parentheses with quotation marks in the terminal. And you can either use double quotation marks or single quotation marks. And if you don't put quotation marks before you type anything inside, it is going to give an error unless you use a number. Response is a variable, and variables are like containers which you can use to store different values. Int collects numerical information because int is short for integer, while input collects string information, and string is basically alphabetical information, and anything put inside quotation mark is turned into a string, whether it is a number or a symbol. And output 2. If elif and else statements are used for decisions, they run like this. If XYZ is true, ABC should run. Elif XYZ is true, ABC should run, else ABC would run. So let me use an analogy. So like if it is raining, go with umbrella and raincoats. Elif, which means else if it is not raining but it is cold, go out with a sweater. Else it's not, which means it's not raining and it's not cold, go out with a t-shirt. And try I used to attempt different functions, and if false it will prompt an error message and run in anything in the except tag. And excepts are what run after try statements. So basically an analogy to explain try is, let's do as if you're eating food. So try to eat the food, except it is hot, blow it before you put it in your mouth. Then this area just shows different operations requesting for numerical values each. So over here you can see type error, and it's an example of an error. So it's basically when you request for something but you get something else, like you request for yam but they give you fish. And there are also different types of errors like value error, name error, and zero division error. Then output 4. Here you can just see the start operation and the exit in calculator operation and the invalid option prompts.
All right, thank you very much for that. So apart from what you've seen these kids display here today, the boy who just spoke now, actually, in as much as I am having goosebumps saying this, he actually landed a tech role with just like the email that you just saw projecting on my screen now. They reached out to us asking for collaboration concerning with him rather, when that particular opportunity came out. Sorry, this slide is just messing up everything. So technically, we spoke with the dad, and the dad said that considering the fact that he's in school, he shouldn't take that role. But this was like, when we spoke with the person concerned, we had a meeting. He was willing to pay him $2,500 for that collaboration. But you know African parents now, the dad had to speak with me whether it's something he can allow him to do. But the agreement we had, or the discussion I had with the dad, was that considering their level of education now, they're still in school, junior secondary school to be precise, I believe it's something he can do much later in life. So we actually turned down that offer, right? And the reason was that they were still in their learning phase. Regardless of what they've learned so far, they still have a lot to learn, you know. And that is the boy that just spoke now, who is the Python developer of Techstar Hub and has been on it since primary school. Now, the connection with Oscar First is that open source has really, really impacted the way these kids learn. Because if they were to pay for some of these courses, the reality is that they wouldn't have been able to afford it. But thank God for open source, which is why we decided to come and, you know, talk at this session to like encourage others. You could actually leverage on open source to bring out the best in you without even paying much. You know, it also helps to build communities. Like if you look down there, you will see some of their other peers who have come to witness what they have to do today, and empowering them for all of them to contribute. Part of the essential open source tools that has made our learning journey extremely easy, and they are all free. VS Code for web development, Linux Apache for infrastructure. Our learning resources were mostly on MDN, Stack Overflow, documentation, Harvard CS50, MIT OpenCourseware, before AI interrupted everything. Now you don't need to. So we're actually leveraging on this most of the time. And the community platforms like Discord, Reddit was very, very useful. Now, the ripple effect of everything they are doing so far is that beyond individual differences, we are looking at creating a community whereby open source enables each and every one of them to be the best they can be, and students learn free from resources and build projects and contribute back and give back to the next generation. And also mentor the next generation. Like what we do at our hub these days, whenever anybody wants to enroll, they are the ones that attend to them. They are like the ones mentoring them. So they are coming from being mentored now to being the ones mentoring. And that is the advantage of open source, and we can't, overemphasize that. So presently now, we are at level 4, which is the current impact or how we intend to scale. This is our future vision for Techstar Hub. We are aspiring that someday, we could actually collaborate with local organizations and replicate similar models whereby kids, teenagers are, given that opportunity, regional expansion to other states, and then global networks connected worldwide. So if to say we are to, now, because of our time, your role in this movement, how can you be of help? You can support initiatives like Techstar Hub, mentor and share your expertise with aspiring developers, advocate and spread the word about open source education, and contribute. So we believe that every child, regardless of their background, deserves access to quality tech education, not just children, even teenagers and young adults. And open source makes this dream a reality. Thank you, the organizers of Open Source. So we encourage you to join us in this mission, support initiatives, contribute, mentor young developers, advocate for accessible tech education, and we hope that the future would extremely be bright for them. Unlike most of us that discovered ourselves final years in the university and after universities, these ones are already beginning to discover themselves early enough. And you can imagine what will happen when they are done with their SS3 and university level. Most of them will be cashing out in dollars. And that is our aspirations and dreams for them. And they could also be as a source of multiplier effect to other forthcoming generations, thereby making Nigeria, Africa, the tech hub of the entire universe. Thank you very much.